inviting me. I appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about time management. We're going to talk about the balancing act that you all live each day in your lives and how to make it balance a little bit better. So that's kind of some stuff we're going to be talking about. A little bit about myself before I begin. My name is Christy Trias with Simply Balanced Coaching and Training, and I focus on busy working people that have a lot of responsibilities. I teach them how to use tools in their life so they have more time and energy for what's really important. So who feels like they have a lot of responsibilities in their life? I promise after today's presentation that you will take away 3 new techniques to help you in your day to make it run a little bit smoother, to create that balancing act that we use. So before we begin, I have a number that I put up here, and I was wondering if some of you might know what it is, but it's 1,440. What do you think that is? Anybody?
The amount of tasks the average business person has to do in a day.
Yes, probably. I heard it over here.
Minutes in a day.
Number of minutes in a day. That's all you get. If you don't use them wisely, you lose them. Time is the only commodity that you cannot purchase more of. So it's important that you learn to use it wisely by planning and structuring your day. So we're going to learn how to do that. You have a handout on your table. There's lots of handouts today. I just have the 2 handouts. Feel free to fill out. And then this is a little worksheet. Write all over it and take the information home with you so that you can capture it and put it into use right away. One of the unique strengths that I pride myself on is I teach you material, but then I give you action items so that you can put it to use right away. So this afternoon, start using this. It works. And you will reap the benefits if you do the work. You didn't come here today, and I don't have the magic powers to cast a little spell over you so that tomorrow it will be a great time management. You have to put the tools to work and make it happen. So that's what we're going to learn about today. And the 3 areas we're going to focus on are developing a plan each day, learning how to time block, and eating that frog. So now some of you may do some of this, but not all of it. You may have a different technique for using it. That's the beauty in these tools. You can adapt them to meet your life and make the tool yours, because it's going to work when you adapt it to make it your tool. That's what I have done with a lot of the time management tools. The reason that I'm very passionate about this topic is about 8 years ago, I was in a very stressful job. I was a corporate sales trainer, and I was also in a sales role, and I was also implementing a big change project where I worked. And I was in my early 30s, and I started experiencing short-term memory loss. And I thought, this is crazy. I shouldn't be experiencing short-term memory loss when I'm in my early 30s. Well, come to find out, it was from stress. I had too much on my brain, too much going on. I was going home, I have 3 kids, crabby, not the best mom, not the best wife that I could be. So I became very passionate about work-life balancing. And the key there is balancing, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I started reading about this topic, and there's so much out there. And if you use the tools, they work. So I used the tools for about 8 years, and my presentations and the book that I have coming out in April or May focuses on these 7 strategies to shift your life from chaos to calm, so you can really enjoy yourselves. You can do a better job at work, you can do a better job at home. That starts with time management. So that's why we're going to be talking about that today. So, before we begin, does anybody have any questions? All right, I have a question for you. Some of you can't see because there's a lot of people in the room, so I'm just going to read it to you. Up here I have busy equals productive. Is that true? No. We have turned into a busy society. Whenever I make it a habit of asking people how they are, and I'll walk up to somebody and say, hey, how are you today, buddy? And their answer is, oh, I'm busy. 80% of the time it's busy. So I ask them, well, what are you so busy doing? And they just look at me. They don't have an answer. They just go, I don't know, but I am really busy. Don't let that be you. Because just because we're busy doesn't mean we're being productive. We fill our time with little tasks here and there that really don't have a lot of value. So it's finding those tasks that have the value, putting them into your plan, and putting it to work for you. So don't be that busy person that's not productive. So I've got something I'd like everybody to do. Be brutally honest, because if you're not brutally honest, the only person you're hurting is yourself. Because your neighbor sitting next to you doesn't care where you're at. This is your information. So, at the top of your paper, rank yourself from 1 to 10. How good are you at time managing your time? 1 is that you're clueless. 10 is that you're kicking butt. Oh, does everybody have a handout? Brad has some extras over by him if we need some extra handouts. Just raise your hand if you need an extra handout. Thank you, Brad. One is you're absolutely clueless. Don't have a clue about how to manage your time. You just fly through the day like a crazy person. 10 is you're kicking butt, and you could be up here teaching this because you're such a rock star. Because there are people like that. So rank yourself brutally honest at the top of your paper. All right. Now, your goal is not to become 10. Your goal is to move forward 2 places. So if you're a 4, you want to strive for a 6. If you're a 6, you want to strive for an 8. If you're a 2 and expect yourself to be a 9, that's too much, too fast. That's setting yourself up with too high of an expectation. So wherever you are right now, you want to move ahead just 2 spaces. And that's what these tools will help you to do, is that planning. Most people, and many of you are small business owners, work for smaller companies, most people are overwhelmed. Who thinks they're overwhelmed? Overwhelmed is a choice. Do you believe that? Being overwhelmed is a choice that you have in life. We don't necessarily know that. We don't make that conscious choice, but it is. All right. So we're going to talk about planning. The first one on your sheet. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So there's a technique that I use, and I use these tools myself every day. You can use an electronic planner, you can use a paper planner, whatever is your planner of choice, use that. And what I do is, every day at the end of the day, so if I work from 8 to 5, at 4:50 I plan my next day. So I take 10 minutes, look at the day, and go, okay, what's going on tomorrow? And I get that scheduled into my day. That allows you to be more productive. Because 1 minute of planning increases your productivity by 10 minutes each day. So if you take 10 minutes to plan, that will increase your productivity by 100 minutes. What would you do with an extra 100 minutes a day? Write it at the top of your paper. Go home from work on time, get that extra project done at work that you need to work on. Write down what you would do. If you put this into action, in about 30 days, you will have that extra minute of productivity in your life. And in a few minutes, I'll share a story, but I want to finish explaining how this works. So, each day you take 10 minutes to plan out, well, what does tomorrow look like? And on Friday, we're talking about our work week here. This technique also works for your personal life. I'm talking about work here. Then on Friday, you take the last 10 minutes of the day and you go to next week. And from a big perspective say, okay, what's next week kind of looking like? Oh, I see that I have Wednesday afternoon open. I don't have any meetings scheduled, nothing. Well, I've got that really big project that I've been trying to get to and I can never find time. Grab Wednesday afternoon before somebody else does. Because somebody else is going to see that open slot on your calendar and grab it from you. So you take it. And plan, you have 2 hours of work time on this big project that's been stressing you out. So that is how this works. 10 minutes every single day. I do hear some people say, well, at the end of the day it doesn't work for me. I'd rather do it in the morning. That's fine. Do it in the morning. Why I encourage doing it in the afternoon is because then you can leave work at work. You've done a brain dump, you've left work at work, you get in your car and you go home. Then you can be fully engaged at home, and when you come back to work the next day, you can be fully engaged at work, because you've got a plan. Because so much of our lives, our work life crosses over into our personal life, and our personal life crosses over into our work life, and it affects both areas of our life. I mean, that's the same thing that rings true with if you have kids. Your kids can make your day in the morning when you're getting ready for school, they can make your day turn into a good day or a bad day if you let them. I've got an 11-year-old, and when he was, actually I have 3 kids, but my littlest one is 11, and when he was little, about 4, he used to pride himself on seeing if he could interrupt the day and make it be kind of stressful for mom. Getting him out the door to daycare, he'd throw a fit about something because he likes to control things. And if I let him do that, I would have a bad day all day. So what I learned to do is I'm like, okay, I can choose to let Alex destroy my day, or I can choose to have a good day. I chose to have a good day, literally mentally did that, then went to work and worked on my plan. So that's how this all works. So you create that overlap so you can be fully present at work and fully present at home. And you will enjoy your life a whole lot more if you do that. Because you won't have all that clutter in your brain going, oh, that's right, I have to do this project tomorrow at work. Nope, it's on your plan. So you can run with your plan. So that is how that works. The key is consistency, that you do it consistently every day. There was an individual that, I've done this training at some companies. There's one particular individual that last August I did this training for them. And it's somebody that I happen to know, and I ran into her at the grocery store. And it happened to be about 30 days later, 40 days later. And she says, you know, Christy, I am just getting so much done. It's got to be the change in the seasons. You know, fall is here, so it's just got to be the change in the season. And I said, well, have you been doing your 10 minutes of planning every day? She goes, oh yeah, I love that. I said, see, it works. And she's like, oh, I never put that together. So it just happens. But the key is you have to do the work. So 10 minutes every day, and in about a month and a half, you're going to go, wow, I just feel so much more relaxed, and it's happening. So that's my challenge to you for the next 30 days. Plan, 10 minutes of planning. Now, the next one is time blocking. And this is a tool that works very well. If you do like things together, you'll get more done. So if you sit down and pay all your bills on Monday afternoon from 1 to 2, versus sometimes on Monday morning, sometimes on Wednesday afternoon, you're just paying them here and there, you're not going to be as efficient. Or if you decide that you want to go to a networking event, plan your networking into your plan. Plan Third Thursday out. Say, you know, I have to go to one networking event a week. Find it and go. If you have it in the plan, you'll do it. So that's how this time blocking and planning works. One of the time blocking things that I do in my life, and I've really put this to the test, and it makes a huge difference, and people always laugh when I tell this story, is I make a list of all the errands I have. And I put them in order on my list so that I'm only making right-hand turns around town.
Oh my God.
Instead of left. It is amazing how much faster you can get your errands done if you just start making right turns. And when I put this to the test, I had to make a couple left turns. It added about 3 to 5 minutes per task I had to do that for. Well, if you've got about 15 things you have to do, and you add 3 to 5 minutes to each one of those, or at least half of them, that's a huge waste of time. So give it a try. And actually, somebody told me this, I didn't know this, is UPS has that policy on their delivery routes. Right turns. So I was doing that before I knew that story, so I was really proud of myself that I figured that one out. So give it a try. So time blocking, doing certain types of tasks. Outbound calls, that takes one side of your brain. Paying bills or working on a report, that takes another side. So just focus and do like items together, and you will get more done. You'll be more productive. And finally, the last thing, and we're going to watch a short little video on that, is, and you've got a bonus activity, so there's actually 4 things on here. So I'll explain it later. The third thing is called Eat That Frog. Who's heard of Eat That Frog? Who uses it in their life? Does it work? Yes. It does. Brian Tracy, who is a world-renowned guru on time management, has developed this concept of eat that frog. And what it involves is, as you're doing your plan, you circle your frog. Your frog is that most disgusting, the worst thing that you have to do every day, the thing that you dread and procrastinate and go, oh, yuck, I don't want to do this. Well, guess what happens? It moves to the next day because you don't do it. I just had someone share a story with me this morning that they've been using this technique for about 6 months, and they had identified this frog, and she kept moving it and moving it and moving it. And she finally just bucked up and did it. She goes, it took me 5 minutes, and I've been stressing about this for 2 months. It's usually not as bad as you think. So just do it. So eat that frog. So with that, we're going to watch a short little video that will explain this concept. We'll have to get the DVD player to engage here and warm up.
Oh, there's a here's a little food for thought. There's an old saying that says, if the first thing you do when you wake up each morning is eat a live frog, nothing worse can happen for the rest of the day. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty safe assumption. Well, Brian Tracy has said that your frog should be the most difficult task on your things to do list. The one you're most likely to procrastinate on. Because if you eat that first, it'll give you energy and momentum for the rest of the day. But if you don't, you let it sit there on the plate while you do 100 unimportant things, it can drain your energy, and you won't even know it. William James, one of the founders of modern psychology, said this: procrastination is attitude's natural assassin. There's nothing so fatiguing as an uncompleted task. So, with that said, here's your assignment for the next 30 days. Take a look at your list. Circle a frog. Eat that first, and you'll thank us for it.
So what do you guys think about that? It's kind of a fun way to look at it. So what are some of the things that popped out of there? The frog, yes. It jumped out of there, yeah. Michelle?
My question is, that frog that you should eat isn't the most important thing that you should be doing for the day.
It can be the most important, or it can be the thing that you've been dreading and procrastinating.
Yes.
And in your 10 minutes of planning, that's where you circle your frog. So if I'm planning my Tuesday, and I know exactly what I need to do, I'm going to put that frog at 8 o'clock, because I don't want to do it.
So how long should you plan on spending on it? Because my frog would take me 3 days.
Then do some planning and schedule it out. And if you don't want to do it all in one day,
I don't want to do it all.
then plan out next week to make it happen. Say, you know what? 8 to 10, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is frog time, and just get that done. And you'll be and then celebrate your success, because that's what's important about this, is reward yourself. Go have a massage, go for a nice walk. It's gorgeous outside. When you put in all the hard work, take some me time and have some fun. Because as all of you, many of your small business owners, we forget that part. You're so focused on making your business successful that you work. You got to replenish that battery of yourself and recharge it. And so that's really, really important. So yeah. So any other observations that you had there?
You just mentioned she said that a lot of times the frog isn't as big of a challenge as we all think it
Huge.
is. So
Yes.
that is. Once we finish it, we're like, start waiting for it.
Yeah, that's it. You go, really? I was all stressed out about that? How foolish.
And you feel so good.
You do. You feel very good when you get it done. So, plan your day, time block it, and eat that frog each day. Now, if you have 2 frogs, you say, what did they say to do? The biggest one or the ugliest one first. And it will help everything go smoother. What do you think happens if you schedule your frog at the end of the day?
You don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't do it. It goes to the next day. Or you have a cruddy day all day long. You go, oh, golly, I got to do that. I don't want to do that. Well, just do it and be done with it so the rest of your day can be good. So there's a lot of power in Eat That Frog when you pair it with the other tools that I gave you. So I challenge you to take 10 minutes of planning, time block, like activities, to be more productive, and eat that frog for the next 30 days. And then I want you to think, wow, how do I feel? Am I more productive? And maybe set yourself up with a little accountability partner in here and say, well, how did that go? How are you feeling? Hold each other accountable to this, because if you do it, it works. If you don't, it won't. So the choice is up to you. So if you are a busy person and you don't quite know what to do, I do have an extra little bonus assignment for you. But before I go with that, I did put another little half sheet there. Because I knew this was a shorter period of time, I put a half sheet on your table like this with my contact information. Feel free to fill it out and I'll drop you an email. My passion is helping people grow and learn, so I'd love to hear from everybody. So just drop me a note and we can work through it. Your bonus item is a time study. And if you do this for 3 days, 7 is better, but most people can't make 7 because it's a lot of work. If you, for the next 3 days, or in a typical week, it works better when you have a typical week. If you're having this crazy, chaotic week, I don't recommend you doing this right now, but then maybe next week. So, jot down every single solitary thing you do. That includes sleeping. That includes Facebooking. That includes Pinterest. That includes everything. If you're a gamer, that includes playing Call of Duty. Whatever it is, write it down. If it's working out in your wood shop, write it down. Sleep, write it down. Because it is crucial to your success that you get 6 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Because your battery cannot be fully charged if you aren't getting that 6 to 8 hours of sleep each night. So I want you to jot that down. Then, after that, on the back side of your first page, there's some questions for you to answer. And again, we need to be brutally honest. I want you to look at what are the most 2 time-consuming activities in my work life, in my personal life. Surprising to you. This activity has transformed people's lives. I have coached somebody that we did this time study, and she was looking for a new job because she was unemployed. And she realized that she was sitting in her recliner flipping through channels 8 to 10 hours a day. She thought it was only 2. She now, since she did this, and has put some other coaching actions into her life, she has a fantastic job. She has a fantastic new relationship with a significant other. She has lost 100 pounds, and she has fun with her kids all the time. And so this was the start of it. So this, if you are struggling with that busy equals productive in your life, do this time study. It will make a huge difference. It'll make you realize, well, what do I really do with the 15 hours in my day? The proof is right here. So if you're struggling with that, I challenge you to work on that. Any questions that anybody has? Well, do the work. Yes, Josh.
As far as setting up your environment, so you talked a little bit about to-do lists. Have you ever done to not to-do lists? So like check email between
Yes.
X hour and X hours.
That's not eliminating distractions. So you say at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 1 o'clock, I check emails. Because who has their email turned on so it's continuously dinging them every time? Turn it off. That's a distraction. Every time you get distracted, it takes you 2 to 6 minutes to refocus back on what you were doing. So turn those distractions off. Now, if you're worried that a customer's go, yeah, but you didn't get back to me in 5 minutes, well, they should have called you on the telephone if they want to talk to you that quick. But you can tell people, I'll get back to you in 1 business day. I'll get back to you in 4 hours. You're setting that expectation. Yeah, Michael?
I know we're almost done here, but do you have any quick recommendations for people to limit uncontrollable distractions like small children or things you can't just shut off? That are, you know,
Well,
a stay-at-home mom that might be trying to accomplish these that has, you know,
well, one of
5
the
or 2-year-old. Yeah.
One of the tools that I actually used with that, and because I struggled with that when I came home from that work between 4 and 5, when I got home from work and I think I needed to let my kids wanted my attention, I played with them for 15 minutes and gave them just all my 100% focused attention for 15 minutes. And they were happy, and then I went on and did my thing. So just give them dedicated, focused attention. You can't play Monopoly and text at the same time. Or you can't play Hi-Ho Cheerio with your kids and be doing emails. They notice that, and they'll call you on it right away. So just give them the focus time, and you move on. It's all about focusing. Stop multitasking. Multitasking decreases your productivity. The person that doesn't multitask and focuses will run circles around the genius by the end of the day. So it's very, very important. So good question.
Thank you.
If anybody have any other questions? Send me an email if you do. Thank you for your time. And do your work so you reap rewards. Yes?
What's the name of the book?
Oh, my book is called Live Life Beyond the Laundry. And it focuses on 7 strategies to shift life from chaos to calm. And it will be out either the last week in April or the first week in May. So, I'm debating about that because there's a lot of interaction, assignments, and things like that in it. So I'm debating about that. So thank you. I'm going to let you guys, Jen's going to make a couple of announcements and then we'll go to open networking.